Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, and we're so excited to talk to you today on another Spy Family review.
Yes, now we are on episode 6.
Yes, and we finally get to meet Scion Boy, Boss Man and his friends, and the handler for Lloyd. Yes, she's called the handler. Yes, she.
Yes. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and put notification updates on future podcasts or multiple pause videos.
Yes, this is an exciting part for those who read the manga to actually see all these elements come together. And this episode was not only full of fantastic moments, but so much fun.
Right? It was funny because last episode you had just a ball with it and just it being it was half filler, half entertainment because they had really extended what the manga had. Well, in here they stick right back to what the manga had, but somehow they just made it even funnier than just reading it.
Yes. And in this one we finally get to see more of what Yor does, not just those little bits where she's kicking people's butts and things that happen, and Lloyd is a delusion, we don't understand how, and he's the world's best spy, and we get to see that there's a setup now for her doing her job as an assassin.
Right. And you see more of the Eden school now, and it's hilarious because they have it almost set up like Harry Potter. They go to different houses because now that's a thing. Everyone's got to do it. And Anya gets put in the same house, is what they call it, as Scion Boy.
Thanks to Lloyd, because there's no other way it would have ever happened.
Right, and the mission here is that he's expecting her to be friends with him. So if the faster they become friends, the quicker he can meet Desmond's father, so they could so they know how to stop the plans. And unfortunately, that doesn't go as he hoped when it starts playing out.
Yes. So, as we mentioned, we get to see more of the family and more interaction and more fun. And we get to see her meet Scion Boy and his entourage.
Right.
And they went a little further out in the anime than they did in the manga.
Yes. And oh my god, his name's Damian, but she always calls him Scion Boy because he's a Scion of the family.
His name's Damian Desmond, so yes, you can imagine he's a terror.
Right.
And it's so hilarious because he comes out and he's like, she's looking at him like, she's only looking at him like, of course she can read his mind, and she says she's a telepath.
Right.
So she knows what he's thinking, and he thinks that she's just taken with him. He's like, oh, it's first day of school and already you got someone who's fallen for me. Huh. Well, I'll say you've got good taste. Like, what?
Like,
how old are you?
Like, about what, 5? And then she hears that and she just walks away and goes to some other kid, and Lloyd's freaking like, what are you doing?
And he's like, why are you walking away from me? Again, how old are you?
It's like, and it was like, from the manga, it's kind of inferred it happened a little later, but I guess to add a little more fun, they had it happen right off the bat. There is no build-up, there is no nothing. It just happens immediately as soon as they see each other. It's just like, how the heck is this possible?
Now, it's important to mention that prior to this happening, Lloyd met with his handler, and he gave her the receipts for last week's episode's events and more money he needs for now. And she's like, tell me this is a joke. And he's like, no, this is not a joke.
Right? And like, how much are you spending?
We get to see she looks a little different than we imagined her in the manga. It appears that she has blonde hair, but she's a red hair. Now, I want to throw this out so this is on record, that looking at her, she has the same eye color and the same hair color as Anya. We don't know who Anya's parents are. She was adopted from an orphanage. I am going to predict that this handler is Anya's mom.
Okay, so
I wanted to go on record, so it can't be said, oh, you said it after the fact. No, I'm going to predict that this is her real life mom.
Right. Because all we've seen is that she was in a lab before the orphanage.
Right.
And she still doesn't know who her parents are. So yes, that is very plausible to happen because that will really intertwine more with the everyone being oblivious to whoever everyone secretly is.
And what are the chances that she has the exact same hair color and eye color as Anya, and her hair is even styled kind of like Anya's, but a longer version.
Right.
So that's my guess.
Right.
Okay, so back to the boss man.
Right. And his friends keep calling him boss man. It's like, what are you? How old are you? Are you in the Yakuza now? What the heck is this?
So Anya, of course, prior to this had taken some lessons from Yor on how to protect herself.
Right.
That's how she was going to help contribute to her going to school. You know, she went to help her pick up her uniform and her other items she needs for school. And she said, "Teach me, haha." She wants to be taught how to protect herself. And maybe she shouldn't have done it because Anya punches the crap out of Scion Boy.
Right.
And it looks even better than it did in the manga.
Yeah, see, and she has this thing where it's the one face everyone loves in the manga where she goes, heh, 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 and she has this weird look like, what is that face? And she said, oh, if you really you don't want to go to conflict right off the bat, try to laugh it off and they'll leave you alone. She tries that, and it keeps getting worse. It's not working. So she looks to make sure that the headmaster isn't looking, and she hits him.
And then before that, she says for Lloyd in her mind, "Mama is a liar." And Lloyd is just looking like, oh my gosh, everything is going wrong. And then this became a meme and a favorite tweet. After the episode, he says, "Hello, my old friend, Anxiety."
Yes.
And I'm paraphrasing. That's not the exact quote. Do you remember what it is? Okay.
Yes. Hello, Anxiety, my old friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is going to be his frequency and his vibration and his state of mind. You can tell for many episodes.
Right.
But it was just fantastic seeing it animated. And yes, she gets in trouble. She's the first student to get the first demerit.
Right. And on the first day, like not even an hour in, they're like, already?
But the elegant man helped her because he was told that usually that would have gotten her 7 demerits and immediate expulsion, but she only got 1. So he can be grateful to the man that keeps saying, "Elegance!"
Yes,
Master Elegance! That Mr. Henderson, that she's able to stay and they can keep on with the mission.
Right. So that's pretty much the whole episode. The only thing they had before, as you said, where she was with Yor and went to get the uniform and the groceries, and there was like a little bit of a hiccup, which was in the manga. They just kind of add a little more not so family friendly dialogue in there. Is that there's a rumor that there have been kidnappings of the students at the college, at the school, and it ends up coming into play, and a little bit of the dialogue had been more severe.
But in this one, the woman who is measuring Anya for her uniform, and she's really a cow. There's no other way to put it.
Oh my gosh.
And she's jealous that Anya got in school. She's jealous because Lloyd says, "No, I'm from a small family in the countryside." And she's like, "Well, how dare you get in?"
Right.
And my children didn't get in. So she deliberately tries to scare Anya and pretends that, "Oh no, I didn't mean to do it." Anya says, "I don't want to go to school anymore."
And then Twilight's just like, oh.
But it was on purpose. And it's going to come back to her. Just wait, we'll get to see it.
Right.
So next week we have to look forward to.
Now they're officially starting the school, and Twilight is going to go undercover and see, who are the higher up parents there. Is there any more connections he can make? I'll get him closer to Mr. Desmond.
Right.
And see how Anya handles her first day. Well, I guess her second day now at school. Now that she's already made 1 friend and 1 enemy, a Scion Boy. Yeah.
He and his minions.
Right.
But they end up, you'll end up finding out they're not as bad as they seem.
Right.
So if you got to see this Spy Family episode number 6, let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't seen it already, if you haven't read it, the manga's available on Amazon and Crunchyroll and other places it's sold. It's probably at your local library. And the anime is exclusively on Crunchyroll. It has 5 episodes dubbed, and every episode's being subbed. So give it a watch. and we know you're going to love it. Come back and tell us thank you for referring you to this anime.
Yes. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Yes. So,
thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.